Hey guys, it's Justine from the Layton Township Library, and welcome back to Cooking Up Literature. It's been a little bit since we've cooked something together, but here we are, we're back, and we're gonna have a few videos coming up, so keep your eyes open for that. We have a lot of recipes that we're excited to try, and I'm really excited to definitely taste what comes out of the kitchen here. Before I get into today's video, I want to answer a few questions that people have asked me since our last time cooking up literature. First is, why do I wear a bandana? I do this for two reasons mainly. One, because it gets really hot in this kitchen and I don't want to add extra salt into the food. Two, everyone loses hair and I just really don't feel like losing hair into the food. So that is my other reasons. I like to pull back, keep as much out of the food that shouldn't be there as possible. It's not because I really like Duck Dynasty, although that is an entertaining show most of the time. That is not the vibe that I'm going for. The second question is, people have asked why I have a towel hanging off of my belt. I am a person who, when I cook, like to wipe my hands on anything that's close. That usually is my pants. So in order to keep my pants clean, I usually have a towel hanging off here so I can just wipe my hands and continue on, and I don't have flour or whatever just chilling on my jeans. So that is the answer to those two questions. So without further ado, we're going to be cooking up literature today from the Grinch. Crazy, right? We're going to be cooking up some Who hash, some Who pudding, some roast beast. Of course, who can have a Grinch themed video without roast beast? And we're also ending it with some Grinch Punch, which looks really pretty this time of year. So sit back, enjoy, and let's start cooking. Max, roll the intro.
We're going to kick everything off with some Who hash. You'll need 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 cups of cooked corned beef or 1 can, 3 cups of chopped potatoes, 1 small onion, and 1/2 teaspoon of concentrated beef stock. We're going to begin by boiling up our potatoes. To check to see if they're done, you're going to take a fork and stab a few potatoes. If the potatoes are tender, they are done cooking. In a large frying pan, we are going to melt our butter. Once the butter is completely melted, we are going to add our onions, cooked potato, and corned beef, stirring occasionally for an even browning and so that everything doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. Once everything is browned, you're going to stir in the beef stock and then serve. You may want to add a little salt and pepper to taste, Or if you're feeling adventurous, add some ketchup. So good. Our next Whoville Feast item is some Who pudding. You're going to need 2/3 cup of long grain rice, 3 cups of milk, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of butter, a half a teaspoon of salt, 4 egg yolks, and about a 1/8 cup of red and green M&Ms. You'll also need a double boiler or this makeshift one that I have found works out just as well. Use a paper towel at the bottom of a large skillet, add some hot water in a metal pan, and simmer on a low heat. You're going to add the milk and the rice into the bowl and cover as it simmers. You're going to stir occasionally so that the rice doesn't stick to the bottom of the bowl. You're going to cook until the rice is tender. When the rice is finished cooking, you're going to preheat your oven to 325 degrees. You're then going to take the egg yolks in a bowl, or I use a measuring cup. You're going to whisk the egg yolks until frothy. You can either use a wire whisk like I did, or if you have a hand mixer with a whisk attachment, that would go a lot quicker. And your arm won't hurt as much. When your egg yolks are frothy, you're going to add the sugar, the vanilla, the butter, and the salt. And just mix them together. You're going to then add that mixture into your rice. You're then going to oil some baking dishes. I use these souffle ones, or you can just use one big baking dish. Add the pudding into a baking dish. Place them in the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. When they are finished cooking, take them out of the oven and place them on a wire cooling rack for at least 10 minutes. Once they have cooled, you're going to put them in the fridge for 8 hours at least, or overnight. Place some M&Ms on the top and they are ready to be served. Now time for the main course, some roast beef. I'm going to need 1 beef rump roast or bottom round roast, 3 to 3.5 pounds worth. 2 tablespoons of canola oil, 4 medium carrots, 3 medium potatoes, 2 small onions, a half a cup of water, 6 to 8 tablespoons of horseradish sauce, 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar or apple cider vinegar, 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce, 2 cloves of garlic minced, 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of celery salt, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and 1/3 cup of cold water. First, slice up your vegetables. To a large skillet, add the canola oil. We are going to brown the rump roast on all sides. In a bowl, you're going to combine the water, the horseradish sauce, the red wine vinegar, the Worcestershire sauce, the garlic, and the celery salt. And mix that all together. I figured out that using whisk worked a lot better to get the clumps of horseradish sauce to smooth out. To a crock pot, you're going to add the potatoes and the carrots. I mix them up so they're evenly distributed. Take the roast and place it in the center of the crock pot on the bed of potatoes and carrots. Add your sauce mixture. And top with the onions. Cover and cook on low for about 8 hours. Once your vegetables are tender, you're going to combine the cornstarch with the cold water and whisk it until smooth. You are then going to add the cornstarch mixture into the slow cooker. Stir it in to incorporate it to the gravy. The cornstarch is used as a thickening agent, so your gravy is not quite as watery. Then going to cook it on high for about 30 minutes. Remove the rump roast, cutting off the strings and slicing. Then plate up your vegetables and serve. Everything was so tender. It was so good. I highly recommend. 10 out of 10. To wash all that down, it's time for some Grinch Punch. You'll need 2 packets of lemon lime Kool-Aid or green apple Kool-Aid, whichever you can find at the store. 1 can of frozen limeade or lemonade concentrate. 2 cups of sugar. 8 cups of water. 4 cups of pineapple juice. And 1 liter of Sprite, 7-Up, or ginger ale. In a large pitcher, you're going to add the Kool-Aid mix, the water, the pineapple juice, the lemonade concentrate, and the sugar. Using a long handled spoon, stir that all up until it's well combined. To make my glass look a little bit fancier, I rimmed it with some red sugar. Fill your glass halfway with the Kool-Aid mix. And top it off with Sprite or ginger ale, whichever you choose. There you have it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep cooking.